Grüezi miteinander, Gregory from Lebe here. I'm so stoked to announce that we have our first English workout course, and it's called 30 Days of Kettlebells. I'm clicking on my 30 Days of Kettlebells course. On your left hand corner, you have all the chapters and the lessons. All these workouts are divided into chapters and into lessons. Right here it says, welcome to 30 Days of Kettlebells. We have some important information, blah, blah. So then when you're ready, you can click on continue and boom, you're switching into your first workout and it already starts. So here you got your first workout. As you can see, when we scroll down, you can see here is the description for the workout. No ads, no ad break. Okay, it's just the workout and you see the exercises, you see what you have to do. 30 Days of Kettlebells is an intense workout program that builds you up as a beginner without prior knowledge. That's what we specialize in. And this is very important. Even though we cover certain aspects of different exercises in small tutorials, this is not a specific technique class or course. We offer these types of courses as well, however, they're currently only in German. This is strictly a workout course. From now on, you will receive one of the following tasks each day for the next 30 days. You have a workout. So if a card pops up that says workout, here you will be tasked to work out. Simple. If a card pops up that says rest on your day 2 you saw previously, we believe that regeneration is also as important as working out. On these days, you can rest. Then we move on, you have cards that pop up that say rest and study. You can rest and you can study a specific topic that we'll cover in this lesson. And finally, you have some cards that pop up that say rest or workout. What that means is you can either work out if you feel like it, or you can take a break. It's only $49.99, so if you want to support us, if you want to support the channel, if you want to support our kettlebell courses, and if you want to enjoy something ad-free and learn something new and get a deeper understanding of the kettlebell and get a deep connection to us, then feel free to buy this course and have fun. This is your Captain Gregory Jamaili speaking. Thank you for choosing Lebe Airlines. We're about to take flight. Please fasten your kettlebells. The ride may get a little bumpy. We may encounter some turbulences, but we will get through them. Don't forget to let us know where you're from. Type it in the chat or leave a comment. Tell us your city or country and let us send you some love. Get ready for takeoff. Oh yes. Oh yes. Get ready. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom! Grüezi miteinander. Gregory Jamaili von Lebe here. Guys, welcome to the stream. We want to get started just right now, and I have a little story that I want to share with you before we dive into the kettlebell Q&A in itself. And the story goes a little something like this. Yesterday, a client told me, and maybe you need to hear this because I had this was on my mind, this was on my chest since yesterday. So she told me, Gregory, you know what? You have a lot of people who don't root for you, people who are so-called haters. I don't even like the term, but people who don't root for you, and they say, you know what they say? They say, you act like you know everything. So I remember back when I was grinding and trying my best to succeed. I was doing so many things. I was even famous for failing. It's very, very funny. Somebody told me, hey, Gregory, you know what? You are famous for failing. And back then, when nothing worked out, I remember I was working for 15 years. I was trying to accomplish something that didn't work out in the end. And I had a clothing brand. We tried different things. I've worked so many different jobs until I finally found my calling, my mission. And back then, when nothing seemed to work out, people were telling me, the reason why it doesn't work out for you, Gregory, is because you don't know nothing at all. You don't know nothing, and that's why you're famous for failing, and that's why things don't work out. And now, because things are working out, people tell me, well, you act like you know anything, or you act like you know everything. So that's pretty funny. Maybe you need to hear this. No matter what you do, listen, guys, no matter what you do in life, you can cure AIDS, you can cure cancer, you can be the best thing that ever happened to humanity, and still people will dislike you. Still, there were some people who hate on you. And I believe this lies in our human, one of the most piercing emotions that you can experience, and that is jealousy and envy, which every one of us, I believe everybody experiences these emotions. I believe the biggest difference is how we handle them. So maybe you need to hear the story. No matter what you do, just keep going for it. As long as you're not inciting violence and you don't hurt anybody, you're not fooling everybody, and you don't step on somebody's toes in a very, very serious matter or way, then keep going. Try what you do. So that's what we got to do. So that's the intro story, guys. And now let's jump into what we have got for you guys. So welcome, guys. Welcome to another kettlebell Q&A. I have done my homework, so I've really prepared this live session, and we want to dive straight into it, and I want to show you what this kettlebell Q&A is all about. This is the 4th installment now, and I really came to like these installments. And on the last stream, however, I experienced that I wasn't prepared, and there was a comment that we were going to talk about that mentioned this, and I think that's the good thing. If people call out if you do something not in a good manner, or it's constructive criticism, that's how you improve. So I believe this stream that I'm going to present to you right now is a reason. Because of this constructive criticism, I said, okay, I got to upgrade. I got to do some stuff. I got to get better at what we do. So the focal points of this kettlebell Q&A series is, the first thing, we want to thank our sponsors. We want to thank the people who donated to the stream. We want to thank our club members. We want to mention them, give them a shout out, and maybe have a little introduction, because we see on our YouTube analytics that about 70% of you who are watching are first timers and who are not subscribed to the channel. So maybe you don't know who we are, you don't know what this is about, and so that's the reason why we're doing this introduction. And then I have kettlebell picks of the week. I saw something that is very interesting that I want to share with you guys, and then we're going to dive into the recent YouTube comments. And if the live Q&A is lit, if you guys have any questions, just hit it, hammer it home in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer it. Now, first of all, thank you all you Kettlebell Club members. We have Stefan L, Rolfi Trebo, Dima Krivi, Alexander, Lydia, and Longtoe. These people joined the Kettlebell Club. It's very easy. You can actually click the join button, and you can, if you want to, if the value that you're getting is not only worth your time, but it's also worth your money, then you can support us financially and you can join the Kettlebell Club. It's only $5.95 per month, and you can get a shout out. And like I said, if you want to take it a step further and support the channel, that's what you can do. So you guys that joined the Kettlebell Club, thank you for joining and thank you for being so awesome. And then we got some recent donations. Nico, in our recent live stream, he donated 21 South African rands. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, Nico, for donating this amount of money in our workout live stream, because our workout live streams, listen guys, these workouts are so bone breaking. And we, even the next day, we feel these workouts in our bones and the marrow, everything, the ligaments, the joints, everything feels it. So these workouts are so crazy. We give it our all. And when you guys are donating and showing us love, that even pushes us more. On our last live stream, we had about 20 people in the stream, which is a lot for our means, and we were really digging it. And then you see Stefan L, he donated €4 for a cup of coffee, which we already enjoyed. And then you see Matthias, he donated $10 Super Kettlebell Training Motivation Pure, thank you so much. And Longtoe donated about a month ago $20 in the stream. Then we went crazy, and he said, let's do this, join the Kettlebell Club. So guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Now do some little homework, guys. If you are interested in following our YouTube channel and follow what we do, we are all about the kettlebell. We love the kettlebell. We dig into it. It's a passion that we want to share with everybody. We not only do it as on YouTube, we do it full time in our personal training studio. And if you enjoy what we do online, this is the schedule. Now you tuned in to one of these live Q&As at 7 p.m. And Thursdays, 11 a.m. is where Angie's hitting you with a live workout. She's a beast, guys. And the recent installment, our latest workout with Angie, it was really, really well received. You guys really, really liked it, which I'm totally digging. We got over 1,000 views in not even a week, which is awesome. And then on Saturdays, you have these crazy workouts with Angie and me at 12 p.m. And that's all on Central Eastern Standard Time, guys. So that's the schedule. Now, about the Q&A, if you have any questions, shoot them off and let us know in the live chat, and we're going to answer them. But now, before we want to get started, maybe you're wondering, hey, who and what is Lebe Stark? And this is a question that we even want you to ask yourselves, and that is critical thinking. And the question is, are we qualified enough to help you along with your kettlebell journey? I believe this is a valid question, especially in the days of social media in general, where many coaches are online. And recently you see multiple kettlebell workouts pop up from multiple coaches, which I think it's an awesome thing because it popularizes the kettlebell, what we love. And at the same time, you probably ask yourself, well, is this person qualified to help me? Is this person qualified to talk about even the kettlebell? Or, everybody can talk about the kettlebell, but we want to take it a step further and say, hey, can you back it up with a little education, with a little knowledge? And that's probably the question. That's critical thinking that I hope you apply in everything that you hear. And so we can help you with this. Maybe this dude is a legend, Steve Carter. He's a kettlebell legend. I've heard about him I don't know, that's years ago. And in June 2019, he visited us. On the right, you see me. On the left, you see Angie. He visited us, and he certified us in the CKT1 and CKT2 coach from the IKFF, the International Kettlebell and Fitness Federation. And the moment Steve visited the gym and the moment he taught us everything. It didn't hold back at all. And his teachings are the ones that I am continuing to share. And on top of it, I'm putting my own experience, my own research, my own findings. And I told him on the phone, I said, listen, Steve, the moment you visited the gym in in June 2019, it was a pivotal moment. I believe Steve Carter is one of the best and one of the OGs when it comes to kettlebell training. So if you're interested in certifying yourself, I highly recommend the IKFF. Now, my biggest challenge that I had with the kettlebell, maybe you're familiar with this, the kettlebell felt like foreign matter to me. I came from the background of traditional strength training, training with dumbbells and barbells. And there's nothing, please guys, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with it. I still love deadlifts, prances, thrusters, the squats. It's awesome stuff. Don't get me wrong, please. So coming from this background, I felt like the kettlebell was so strange to me. I remember when I called up, I texted him, I sent him a message. I said, listen, Steve, I want you to certify me and Angie. And then he sent me the requirements for the level 1 test. And guys, I'm still wondering how I was able to pass the level 2 test, because this is so crazy. And the level 2 test actually qualifies me. I think it's, I forgot it. But there is a certain rule set in the good boy sport, and the kettlebell, I think the master of sport is you have to do certain reps with 232 kilograms, no matter how heavy you are, no matter your body weight, you have to do a certain amount of reps. And this workout, this test that I had to do for the CKT2, I think that qualifies me for the least rank that you can get when you do these exercises live at an event. So I think that's interesting. It was 40 jerks with 220s and 100 snatches with one arm switch. That was the level 2 test. But I'm digressing a little bit. When Steve visited us and he showed me the requirements for the level 1 test, I remember picking up in January 2019, I picked up a 16 kilo, and then I picked up a 20 kilo, and I almost lost faith in myself. I was like, what? I'm supposed to do how many reps? I'm supposed to do 100 swings. That's a level 1 test. 100 swings, 32 clean and presses, 60 snatches with one arm switch, as well as the clean and press. And then 30 goblet squats, and then you have to rest until 2 minutes are over. This is how we do it now. I was like, what? With a 20 kilo? Are you crazy? I remember lifting the kettlebell, lifting it traditionally like I was used to, and I was dying. And I texted Steve. I was like, hey, Steve, are you sure I'm going to be able to manage this? And he said, listen, Gregory, keep working. Here's some stuff. He documented a few workouts for me, a few workout plans. And yeah, I was able to manage it. But I remember the kettlebell felt like foreign matter to me, and maybe you have the same experience. But now, the kettlebell and me, we have now merged into one body. And I love the feeling, the ballistic feeling that the kettlebell provides you. It is so awesome, and that's one thing that you experience probably, I would say, of course I'm a little biased, but I would say the kettlebell is the only tool that offers you this type of merging, this type of getting together with the kettlebell. And, this was my transformation. And let me tell you guys, you can achieve this too. This has nothing to do with talent. It has nothing to do with being gifted or being genetically gifted. It has to do with hard work. It has to do, and Steve said it, he said, it's very important. The first thing that you have to acknowledge or that you have to realize is the first factor is you need the right information to do what you want to do with the kettlebell. And then once you got the right information, it's all about inspiration. So I would classify this as first you need the knowledge, then you need the hard work. So that's not something that is very special. It is if you're willing to put in the work and you got the right information, then go ahead and do it. And at the same time, I want to let you know, guys, that I am not your guru. So whenever people follow a coach or follow some athlete or whatever, people tend to idolize this person. And I'm not a person to be idolized because I'm flawed, and everything that I'm saying can be wrong to a certain degree. Maybe some things that I'm saying I don't have enough information, but I already want to talk about it. So maybe I need more information. And I think I got this from a book. I can't remember the book, but the quote goes, you're either misinformed, uninformed, or misinformed or uninformed. I can't quite remember the quote. But what I want to say is we're all flawed, so I want to share information. And if you have any information that you want to share, then do it. Because I believe in the collective. I believe in the shared pool of meaning. I don't think that one person knows it all. I believe we can help each other. And maybe you need somebody who takes the lead, and then other people may follow, and then we can all share and talk about the kettlebell. That's what it is. So the kettlebell pick of the week that I saw, I really, really dig it. We had a post about Lebe at Reddit, and Shroomhunter93 said, Lebe is an underrated kettlebell YouTuber. So I found out that somebody was on Reddit because, and talking about Lebe, because you always see in the YouTube analytics where you get your sources from, where are people watching your stuff from. So this is somebody who created a Reddit post about us, which I think is just flattering. It's just awesome. So I want to give these people a shout out, because actually we have some people in there who say that they're subscribed to the channel, and I want to give you guys a shout out. Man, thank you so much. So Shroomhunter93 says, here's a link to my favorite kettlebell YouTuber, truly an overlooked kettlebell coach. Well, thank you very much. And you know, when it comes to YouTube nowadays, listen, I do this because I love it. I do this, you know, well, I have to preface this a little bit. I've started the YouTube channel. We have now about 600 videos. So I started even my fitness journey out of pure interest and pure hobby, because I just love to lift. So now when I started the YouTube channel, I knew it's going to be a pillar of my business one day. But over 600 videos later and 4 years later, we're, you know, the YouTube channel is making money, and I have to admit it's making some good money. It's crazy how this thing is growing, and how, you know, how all the ins and outs are so interesting to watch. And at the same time, I have a passion. I love to talk about that stuff. So the reason why I'm doing YouTube is, of course, I want to have a pillar. I want to future-proof my business, and at the same time, it is my passion. So that's the reason why I talk about it. And on YouTube nowadays, because we're so advanced in technology, if you don't belong to one of the first or the second or the third waves on YouTube, and I think people classify YouTube was created in 2006, and then I think 2006 to 9 was the first wave, then 9 to 12 was the second wave, then 12 to 16 was the third wave. You can classify it a little bit like this. These are the OGs, people who were wise, who knew, hey, this is going to be a big thing. So I saw in 2016 that YouTube has to be a part of our business. Maybe it was God who told me this, and he put it on my heart. So that's the reason why I'm doing it right now. But I knew it's going to be one thing. It'll be a pillar of the business. And at the same time, if you don't belong to one of those first waves, you'll have a hard time getting views and getting subscribers. Now, if I would do this for views and subscribers only, I would have quit a long time ago. A long time ago. I remember 2 years ago, we were doing 2 or 3 subscribers per month. Can you imagine? And I was posting about 8 videos per month, and nobody was watching. And I have to admit, those videos were stupid and were bad. But as they say, your first videos are your worst videos when it comes to YouTube. So that's the reason why we're probably overlooked. We just have to hustle hard, and we will keep grinding. And yeah, more people will more people will come into the passion of kettlebells. That's actually what we're sharing. At the same time, they see our business, so you see the two things come together. Now, Atomic Station says, even though I don't train good boy style, I like this dude. Hey man, thank you very much, Atomic Station. From the video, number 6 is a big deal. Develop your unique style. So Shroom Hunter, he shared a video where I was talking about the 10 things I wish I knew when I started kettlebell training. And number 6, it's awesome that he looks at it this way. He says, develop your unique style. And unique style, I believe, is so important and so crucial. Because even if you have all the information, all the training, all the knowledge, all the right cues, all the nuances, you know them, you know every nook and cranny when it comes to kettlebell training, you still develop your own style. So you don't have to be scared if your style looks a little different than mine. Angie's style looks a little different than mine, which is totally fine. So he says, move safe, make progress, don't get caught up in the BS. Man, that's what's up, man. So awesome. So user 404 says, fantastic recommendation, OP. I've recently transitioned to more Tabata and time-based working sets. Definitely see value in the style of training, even though I'm not training ES. A good voice sport. Now, Shroom Hunter says, how many styles are there? I thought there was only hard style and sport. And I would say nowadays, probably what we could add to it are these flows where people combine. I think it's animal, you know, these animal moves, this animal training style with kettlebell training, on combining different complexes with different moves, and that I would consider these are flows. That's probably a third style that has developed. So Kettlebell Snatch says, these guys are great. I use them for my mainstay workouts and then do hardstyle workouts, and get this, on non-Lebe stock days. That's awesome, man. Kettlebell Snatch, thank you so much for the love, man. And used to be a nice guy says, I agree, I subscribed about 3 weeks ago, have been trying to emulate his style ever since with good results. Awesome. Always good to mix it up once in a while. Good call. Used to be a nice guy. Thank you for subscribing, man. And thank you for the shout out. This is awesome stuff, guys. I really, really, man, I dig this stuff. And as you can see now, I think last week we were talking about Strong First, how one of our videos was caught up in a forum of Strong First, and now we're in Reddit, and yeah, it's just awesome. Just things are starting to flow and things are starting to grow. This is awesome. Now let's get into the recent YouTube comments. I have a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, and I've already got 30 minutes in, man. Man, this is crazy. I don't know how long this stream is gonna last, but let's check this out now. We have Josh D. This is a very, very, very insightful comment from Josh D. We were talking about the American swing. So he says, I'm a physical therapist. I agree with other physios who said this is bad for your shoulders, the American swing, that the American swing is bad for your shoulders. Granted, some people could get away with doing it without any issues. But the potential issue is flexion of the shoulder above 90 degrees and internal rotation. It is a recipe for impingement. Granted, in this exercise, you're not in full internal rotation. Yes, I agree. But you're also, in effect, tying your hands together like you would with a barbell, which, again, if you are predisposed to shoulder problems, then it could cause impingement because each individual shoulder isn't allowed to travel its best path. This is insightful. This is very insightful. So tying your hands together in the American swing, your shoulder's not able to freely move. This could cause problems. Now, all exercises, he says something, this is so insightful. All exercises, I suppose, have some degree of risk. The problem with the American swing is that there's really no additional benefit to offset the potential danger. Wow. Note that with the snatch, you end up in a bit of external rotation, and its person's shoulder is free to sort of follow its own path to make it to the top, not tied together for lack of a better term. Now here, Josh, what I think is interesting, if you do the good voice snatch, and what Steve told us is once you're in the overhead top fixation, you want to make sure that your thumb is pointing back. And if your thumb is pointing back, you're probably a bit in the external rotation, but not as much, you know. That's very interesting. So what we could say from this point of view, what I really love is what he says, the problem with the American swing is that there's really no additional benefit to offset the potential danger. So that's awesome, Josh. And that's insight from a physiotherapist. So I asked him, I said, hey, from my understanding, the internal rotation of the humerus over a certain degree angle, like you've mentioned, may cause trouble with the acromion, bursa, tendons, and muscle because the greater tubercle may make contact with those tissues. So the greater tubercle is a bump on your humerus, on the bone of your upper arm. and this will cause the impingement. Judging from the American swing, I don't see that bringing the kettlebell overhead will cause the rumors to internally rotate this far. This is the discussion that I was trying to have with Josh, but probably he didn't see the comment. So I'm really looking forward. Josh, if you're seeing this, maybe you can comment on this. This is interesting because I believe even with the internal rotation going up, it's not as bad. But at the same time, if he says, well, you're tying your hands together and your shoulder's not able to freely move, this could cause some problems. So, and that's the question that you can probably ask yourself. Is it worth to potentially risk my shoulder with the American swing, even though there's no additional benefit? Probably what you can say is the only benefit that you're getting is you bring the kettlebell up higher, so the amortization phase, the drop, is a little harder, and you get a deeper and more intense stretch on your quads and your hamstrings. And at the same time, this is what a snatch does. So yeah, interesting stuff. Now guys, I want to bring this up because that's the reason why I had to upgrade my stream. So Thomas Horre, he said, the original video of the last live stream was useful. However, no additional info from Lebe stock. Wasting time. Sorry. In general, I like this channel. So that's the reason why I thought, man, in the last live stream, I was ill prepared. And if you have the time and you want to check out the recent live stream from last Tuesday, I dare you count how many times I'm saying this is interesting. It's unbearable to watch if you know that I'm saying this is so interesting every few seconds. So that's probably because I was not good prepared. So I got this comment. So I was like, okay, I have to think and I have to see if somebody mentioned this, somebody checked it out and said, hey man, I usually like what you do, but you didn't get a lot or bring across a lot of info, even though I thought we were able to serve some value, and at the same time, well, it wasn't the standard that we're probably used to, and or that our subscribers are used to. And what is also a very interesting part is that I've checked out one of our recent videos, I think it's 1 or 2 months ago, and I saw, whoa, my quality, the stuff that the value that I was giving in those videos were way better than in my live streams. And granted, a live stream is not as easy to do than a video, because in the video you can cut and edit. And at the same time, I'm so hungry, I'm so motivated to bring these live streams up to par with our recent videos. Now, Rafael, and this is interesting, Rafael said the information is there. Every time you want to check something, you can come back and review it. So for me, it's not wasting time. Thank you so much, Rafael. I now know that not all of the subscriptors are in the same level. So it's the great thing about your channel. The information is for all levels, and it's up to us choosing the one that works better for every single one. Gracias, man, Rafael, that's what's up. So you see, he kind of offsets this comment from Thomas. And at the same time, we always listen to constructive feedback, constructive criticism, and then I always look into it. If it's not vile criticism, just aimed to take us down or aimed to just say some bad words, then I'm always willing to listen. So Tyler Rago, he said something. He said, how Joe is doing alternating double cleans. And for those of you who are not familiar, I did a video about Joe Rogan where he's doing alternating double cleans, which now I see they're classified as gorilla cleans. He's saying how Joe is doing it in that video that I was mentioning. His form is terrible, but I respectfully disagree with you. Gorilla cleans are both safe and beneficial if done correctly. Like anything else, form and using appropriate weight for your skill level is what keeps the lift safe. So I really have to agree with the last part. Well, 100%. Skill level and the weight is what keeps the lift safe. And then we even have Caveman Training. He's one of the biggest YouTube channels when it comes to kettlebells in the English-speaking realm. So he said, don't alternate between left and right. He put it in quotes. And then he said, like I have been doing for more than a decade. And then he plugged his own video. So, Caveman and Tyler got one point. They say, hey, man, I've been doing this, or Caveman in this aspect says, man, I've been doing this for a long time. So why are you saying it's bad? And, sometimes you can do something that's not as beneficial for a pretty long time. And then somebody comes up and says, or points out a few flaws about this certain exercise or whatever you're doing. And just because you've done something for a very long time doesn't make it valid. You know, this is something that you can think about. At the same time, I would have loved if he would have, instead of plugging his video, would have just shared a discussion or started the discussion, be something like, hey man, I'm doing gorilla cleans for eternities now, and I have no problems, but I get your point, and this is where I believe where I stand on, you know, and like Tyler Rago did it. Now, if we want to go into the alternating double clean, I think this is very, very fitting. Keith T. Corpus et al., they did a study, and they were talking about internal impingement with overhead athletes, and this is mostly baseball players. And it says, internal impingement is a term used to describe a constellation of symptoms which result from the greater tuberosity of the humerus. You know, we were talking about the greater tubercle or tuberosity recently. And the articular surface of the rotator cuff abutting the posterior superior glenoid when the shoulder is in an abducted and externally rotated position. So what this means is internal impingement is something that happens when certain muscles connect with certain tissues. So this is the problem of external rotation. I think it's interesting, and maybe a physiotherapist can help me with this one, why it's called internal impingement when the external rotation is actually causing the problem. So, you know, bringing when most people do the clean, and we see this in our experience when we work with clients, most people, when they rack the kettlebell, I'm not talking about beginners, I'm not talking about professionals, and you know, even myself, I don't feel that alternating cleans are as safe since I saw the video from Joe Rogan. Maybe I'm a little biased and a little burned by it. So that's the reason why I'm not doing it. And at the same time, I see a lot of people, beginners, when they clean and rack the kettlebell, they bring it up, and what happens is they flex the arm, they bring the arm up, and then the shoulder goes into external rotation, like this, right? So they rack the kettlebell up here. This is what most beginners do instead of internally rotating. So this can cause impingement, right? Doing stuff like this. And now imagine doing it with 2 kettlebells, right? So you have to focus on 2 weights, and you have to focus on keeping your shoulder safe, right? So that's the reason why I believe this impingement syndrome can happen, because I see most people racking the kettlebell when they begin like this instead of internally rotating it. Now, if you're used to internally rotating your arm when it comes to the clean, you're totally safe. You can do the gorilla clean. That's totally fine. However, if I believe, and we can come back to the American swing like Josh D mentioned, if a certain exercise can be predisposed with a certain risk, why do it? Because working with free weights is a risk in general. Working with free weights, that's one thing. It can be risky. And now you add the kettlebell to the mix. This can be risky as well, because you're now using or adding ballistics to it. And ballistics are very unpredictable and hard to control once you start working out. So with all these risk factors, my opinion would be, hey, that's dangerous. And that's the reason, if Joe Rogan does it like this with heavy weights, maybe other people do it as well with heavy weights. So why not say, hey man, do doubles and start learning, get this movement pattern to internally rotate your arm once you're in the rack rest position. And now we got a very interesting comment from Burger King. I think he deleted the comment. If you're watching, man, I don't know why you deleted it. I'm paraphrasing this because you're actually saying something which is quite useful and quite interesting. So he says, it's ironic that you're quoting Marc Ripetoe. In a recent video, in the recent live stream, I quoted Marc Ripetoe because I read his book. So this is something that I really want to advise you. Go read his book, Basic Barbell Training. The biomechanics, the stuff that you learn about the squat, the deadlift, and the press is stuff that you can apply with the kettlebell as well. It's so good. It's basically a lot of the foundations of my biomechanics are from his book. So that's the reason why I quoted him. And now Burger King says, well, Marc Ripetoe doesn't like kettlebells and will probably tell you to gain 60 pounds. His information is quite useful though. Now, going back to critical thinking, I listen to what Starting Strength and Marc Ripetoe is saying because I really respect these folks. However, I do not agree with everything that they say. Now, if Marc is telling me, hey man, you should gain some weight because you're not strong if you're working with kettlebells and I don't like them, so what? So what? I can move on with my day and be good with it. I don't care about it. However, the information that he was sharing is valuable. I follow a lot of people on social media who share some valuable information, and sometimes they share stuff which I think is stupid or is not useful, but who cares? I still want to entertain a thought, research it, dig through it, without automatically accepting it. And that's the comment that I was posting on Marc Ripetoe's channel on Starting Strength. So he was talking about kettlebells. So he said, I said, in this I'm getting ahead of myself. In this podcast, Marc Ripetoe was talking about kettlebells. And these 3 points, kettlebells are a fad, kettlebell is not strength training, and how to build strength for kettlebells. These are just some bullet points that he was talking about, at least, not the last one, this is one that I came up with. But some bullet points that he was talking about, so I felt like I had to do a comment. So I said, we are huge proponents of supporters of Rip and Starting Strength in general. We believe in the power of the deadlift, bench press, and squat, and use it on a daily basis with our clients. When it comes to kettlebells, I'd like to share some constructive feedback to what is said in the podcast. Number one, Marc Ripetoe said, kettlebells are a fad. I said, depending on the sources, we can date kettlebells back into the 17th century. Strength equipment that survived this long is not usually considered as a fad if we put American Russian politics aside. Number two, he said, kettlebell is not strength training. So I said, well, it's probably not in the typical sense since there is a ballistic component involved. And Russians do consider kettlebells as a form of cardio. Well, Russians are hardcore. Aside from the Turkish get-up, however, there are more exercises that intentionally avoid the ballistic component and therefore can be judged strictly as a form of strength training, such as the goblet squat or the strict press. Even ballistic movements like the clean and press, clean and jerk, or the long cycle require a proper amount of force production, especially from the legs, and don't depend on ballistics alone. Specifically at the point when both kettlebells are in the rest position prior to the dip, jerk, and overhead top fixation. Finally, providing the kettlebell swing is the main exercise to build strength from a kettlebell training point of view. This is what a lot of studies even do. They say, we do a study about the kettlebell, and then they only use the kettlebell swing. Probably it's because it's the most popular exercise. However, I don't understand why use a kettlebell swing who only, in quotes, works your glutes and your midsection. Why not do a clean and jerk, for example, where you use your whole body? Why not even do a snatch that uses your whole body? And use this exercise as a solid base to do research on. And that's what I was saying. Even though it's the most popular exercise, I'd rather use the clean and press or the mentioned long cycle in that regard. So then I went on, I said, how to build strength for kettlebells. And I think that's what he said. He said, hey man, if you do deadlifts and if you do bench press and if you do squats, you will get stronger with the kettlebell. And I beg to differ. I said the question probably should be rephrased since kettlebells are not a question of raw force production alone. When it comes to the good voice sports style, pressing or snatching a heavy kettlebell, 20 kilo plus, overhead, for example, can certainly be achieved with raw strength, 100%. However, the best way to become stronger and better with kettlebells would be to improve the technique itself when it comes to kettlebell sports style. And totally speaking, I'm now able to clean and press the 28 kilo for a certain amount of reps because I've been working on my technique and not by getting stronger on my deadlift, squat, or bench press. We see the same results with our clients as well. And you have to imagine, I'm not a pretty strong dude, okay? I don't have the genetics to be incredibly strong. I think with the deadlift, I'm maxed out at 170 kilos. And with the bench press, I think I'm maxed out at, 110. And with the squat, I think it was 150, 60 kilos. No, 150 probably. So I'm not genetically gifted to be a strong dude. And I have to admit that I've never followed a typical strength training program because it wasn't my point of interest. So when it comes to kettlebell training, especially the good voice sport, I believe the most important aspect of kettlebell training in the good boy sport style is learning the nuances of the technique and getting better at it. This is highly important. And now let's check if the stream is still live, because I'm talking like I'm crazy. Yeah, we're still live. Awesome. We got still 9 people in the chat. So awesome. Now let's keep going. Deontay, he was asking, he said, hey man, how can you tell me what brands of kettlebells you used? I'm looking to buy a kettlebell. We're actually using the brand Original Russian Kettlebells from Mega Fitness. It's a German supplier. However, I have to mention that some kettlebells that we've got from them are broken inside, so you hear it rustling a little bit. However, the customer service from Mega Fitness, as I have experienced, is awesome. So if you have any supplier who can supply you with original Russian kettlebells, they're not as pricey and they're very awesome and they look good. I think I love the black look, and then you have at the handles you have the color, which I think is awesome to look at. Now we're talking about Russia and kettlebells. This is interesting. Liam said, considering the Soviet Union put a lot of resources into the fitness programs, I'm surprised there isn't a lot of research into kettlebells. Now, he posted this on our last live stream where I was saying the title was The Unfortunate Wasteland of Kettlebell Research, because I was talking about, and we were talking about a video. I commented on the video from the NCA. Bill Campbell was his name, who was the presenter of this video, and he presented 12 studies. 12 studies. He found in 2016, it's 4 years ago, so probably there's more studies now, but he found 12 studies. So there could be a language barrier that in Russia you have a lot of more research on that stuff, and that's what I said. I assume the research in Russia could be more advanced, and we in the western part of the world don't know about it because politics, probably. So we had somebody, maybe I saw, if any Russian dude is in the live chat right now, please translate his name. I didn't do it. I was too lazy. I'm sorry. Please translate his name so I can pronounce it right. So he said, because kettlebell training is a non-Olympic sport, everything was invested in the Olympic weight lifting. Interesting. So there was probably was the pressure on the political side. The Russians wanted to be the strongest and the best in that regard, and the Americans wanted to be the strongest and the best in that regard. And sports is also politics, as we all know. Weightlifters had all the respect and support from the government, while kettlebell sport was mostly for the working class. Wow. I did not know this. And as you can see, this is why I love to draw from the so-called shared pool of meaning. I believe in the collective. I don't believe in one man or one woman single-handedly dominating everything. This is not how I believe on this channel stuff is supposed to work. I want to learn from you guys who are joining the chat, who are subscribed to the channel, and who have insightful knowledge like my man right here. M-A-K, I'm just calling it right now. M-A-K, my man. So that means we are underdogs. I really enjoy this thought. We are the working class. That's why we train with kettlebells. We are the working class. The underdogs who have to fight for every advancement that they get in life, who have to fight to reach the top, who are not controlled but somehow pushed down from the elite. I love this. So, Olympic weightlifters, they're the Illuminati, and we are the common people when it comes to kettlebell training. There were factories, and these factories had their own kettlebell clubs so the workers could compete against each other during tournaments. But after the collapse of the Union, this club system was destroyed, and I think they had something similar in England with their factories of soccer clubs. Wow. So the working class, bred in games, they were doing kettlebell training. And this club system, can somebody tell me when was the Soviet Union destroyed? Was this before or after 1960? Because judging from Wikipedia, 1960 marks the date when the first championship in the good of voice sport was held, or a system was recognized, or a club championship was recognized. Interesting stuff. So Andrei Svetli says, thanks for all the good tips. Would you be able to point out 3 exercises that you recommend for first timers? Of course, Andrei. We actually have 2 recommendations. I'm giving you one right here. So here you go with one of the best kettlebell workouts for starters. We believe in our experience. First exercise that you do is a power clean. Second exercise is a goblet squat. Third exercise is a push press. The protocol, you do 2 minutes per exercise because we believe in the 4-time method, because it's so easy for you to work out with kettlebells or to train in general. I even started to apply this type of training for time with everything else, or with mostly everything else, with most of the stuff that I do. All exercises are done unbroken, so that means you do 2 minutes of power cleans, 2 minutes of goblet squats, 2 minutes of push press, no rest. You can rest, of course, when you can't go anymore. And before dropping or fainting, drop the kettlebell, because the kettlebell always wins. Put it down, breathe, and then you go back at it. The idea is you don't have a certain amount of breaks or a certain break system. You just keep working and listening at your own body, listening at your pace, and that's how you do it. So, and then you can do multiple rounds. We're just advising you to do 1 round first. You start out with 1 round. And once you feel fine, you can actually go with multiple rounds, 2 to 3 to 4. So if you follow our workout schedule that we do live, you see how we always follow this routine. 2 minutes per exercise, all exercises done unbroken. All exercise, once they're done, they equal 1 round. We do 60-second break after, I forgot to mention this, I'm sorry. You do 1 minute break after every round. I think I mentioned it. Did I forget it? And you do multiple rounds. This is our life workout system, the life system protocol that we use. Now, weight recommendation, if you're a female, you start with 8 kilograms. If you're a male, you start with 12 kilograms. Why are we advising this weight? Because if you've never touched the weight before, as a woman, and you've never lifted a kettlebell before, start with 8 kilos. Because you get a warped view of kettlebell training if you use anything less than 8 kilograms, 6 kilo, 4 kilo, 2 kilo, any kettlebell that you can easily move with your arms without having to engage your midsection, your glutes, your quads, your hamstrings. This is something that will warp your kettlebell training and program your system the wrong way. If you pick up an 8 kilogram and you think it's heavy, it's supposed to be heavy because you're supposed to work with mostly your legs, unless you do some grinding lifts like the Turkish club or a strict press. And guys as well, dudes who never picked up a kettlebell, 12 kilo is the way to start. Now, these are recommendations that, of course, if you have some, maybe you have some situations where you could deviate from this recommendation. You always don't take it 100% at face value if you have injuries, if you have underlying conditions, or if you're just regenerating, or you're using it for a physiotherapist and he's doing some exercise with you with the kettlebell. This is different, right? But most of the time, I believe it is useful for females to start with 8 kilograms and guys with 12 kilograms to get this type of feeling. And always make sure that you can talk to a coach who can really, really teach you the ins and outs. Like I mentioned in the beginning, when Steve Carter visited our gym in 2019, it was a pivotal moment of my kettlebell coach career. This is not something that I could have attained through video only. So if you have the means and if you know a good coach, contact this person, talk to them, and they shall teach you. So now let's check out these exercises. Now, the first thing that we do is actually a power clean. So let's check this one right out. So I'm gonna have to do this. Boom. Yep. So as you can see, a power clean, you got the kettlebell, you drop it on the floor. And the reason why we call it a power clean is because you have to put the weight down, have it rest on the ground. And because it's a power clean, and we use a double-handed grip, because it's for beginners, it's easy to start with 2 hands first. The reason why it's called power clean, as far as I know, is if you need more power to accelerate the kettlebell into the overhead top fixation or into the rack rest position or whatever you want to go. So you could also call it a power snatch if you put the kettlebell down and boom, bring it in the top fixation directly and then put it down again. So that's the reason why I believe, and I've heard, you classify it as power whatever, power clean, power jerk, power snatch. So you see, we're using power from the posterior chain, from the hamstrings to glutes, and then we pull the kettlebell up with our arms, and then we rest it, fix it in the overhead top fixation with both arms. And that's an easy exercise to do for a beginner, even though I highly advise you to learn a proper deadlift maybe first, or to get this proper connection to your body so you can have a straight line, so your back is straight. So that's actually the power clean. Pull it up, boom, and then carefully setting it back down. So you do this for 2 minutes. Then we have switched a little bit too far. Then we're here at the goblet squat. Now a goblet squat is also not as easy to learn, but it's still easier. Grinding lifts, in our opinion, in our experience with our clients, is still easier. Grinding lifts are still easier to learn than going with the ballistics first, right? So goblet squat, you got the kettlebell in the rack rest position, and I'm actually seeing myself grabbing the kettlebell differently. Wow, I normally now grab the kettlebell like this. At the sides, the handle is looking down, but I probably prepared myself to go into a push press afterwards. So what you do, knees out, chest up, make sure your back stays as upward as possible. And the reason why my back is slightly leaning forward is because I got very tight pants. So if you're working with tight pants, you're not able to push your legs out that far, and that could probably hinder you. So see with Angie, she's doing it way better than I'm doing it. So legs out, as you can see, legs tracking your knees tracking your feet. Angie's demonstrating it, awesome. And then boom, getting back up. So that's a goblet squat. You do that for 2 minutes. Now, 2 minutes goblet squats are incredibly hard to do. So always make sure to put down the kettlebell if you feel it's burning you out. And then you start pacing. This is what we teach our clients as well. Start pacing. You know you got the goblet squat. You know it's a tricky exercise. You know you're not able to do it for 2 full minutes. Then try to chop it up and say, okay, I'm going to do this exercise for now 30 seconds. Then I'll put it down before I burn out. Then pick it up again. Try another 30 seconds. Put it down again. And I do this for 2 full minutes. And now we have the final exercise. It's a push press. Now, we also advise you to start working with 2 hands first. Now, grabbing the kettlebell. Oh, and I saw Angie was grabbing it. Now she was grabbing it the same. Now, grabbing the kettlebell. And we call this the so-called CrossFit grip, where you got your thumbs inside the handle and your fingers are outside on the belt. Now you press it together, and then, boom. You go into the overhead top fixation, and then you bring it down. And this is more easy. I believe it's one of the easiest exercises for a press for beginners to do, because you have 2 hands. You're actually able to stabilize the kettlebell with both of your arms. You can really push the kettlebell up. You have the press. A standing press is a very solid exercise for upper body strength. So this is what we would advise. You have the power clean, you have the goblet squat, and you have the push press. So that's what's up. Now we have Manic Arts 215. He says, I was surprised that you had halos as a useless exercise. Now, this is one of the videos that we did. I said 10 most useless exercises in context for beginners. And he said he was surprised that you had halos as useless. Don't make sense, and I agree with you. I've been doing kettlebells off and on for close to 10 years now. Wow, that's a, whoa. You're an OG, man. Medicars, you're an OG. And most old videos make halos an essential warm-up. My first intro to kettlebell was with Michael Skog's and Skog's workout video. Awesome. How do you feel about body circles and figure eights? Would you consider those moves useful or useless? I always did halos, body circles, and figure eights for warm-ups. Thanks for the video. Now, if you have awesome shoulder mobility, I don't think that halos are any problem. And figure eights and body circles, I think the around the world with the kettlebell can be tricky. When you drop the kettlebell and you don't have solid ground where the kettlebell can land and it won't destroy your floor, I think it's tricky. Around the worlds are tricky if you have to be careful with your floor. And the figure eights, people probably tend to flex their spine once they go down, to pass the kettlebell between the legs and then go up, if that's the figure eight that you're talking about, I believe, because some people call it the slingshot. So, and now this is very interesting, not very important. I want to preface this. I made this video saying 2 most useless exercises because sometimes we use some tricky titles, some catchy titles to make you guys watch the video, okay? Now, I don't think halos are incredibly useless. I think they're not necessary, to put it that way, because you can do some cleans. Do cleans and you work your rotator cuff muscles just as good. If you want to warm up, I believe, and I don't want to get close to Michael Skog's because this dude is an OG, but I believe warming up, doing some mobility stuff, I believe is best done without any weight at all. It's just from my experience that I see with our clients. Most people are so tight in their shoulders and their hips. These are the crucial joints, hips and shoulders. People are so incredibly tight that if we would apply some weight, it would probably be detrimental to their joint health. So my advice would be do mobility stuff without any weight at all. If you're using weight, I would classify it as a strength training exercise, or as an exercise that's not just classified as mobility if you're using weight. And why I believe I have a lot of good upper body mobility. I don't do, for example, I don't do the arm bar with a kettlebell. I just do the arm bar with my arm only. And that stretches my chest just as good. So that's where I'm coming from, right? So essential for warm-up would be do a mobility warm-up without weights, and then maybe do something to get your heart rate up. So many cars, thank you so much for this comment. And now, this is the final comment, guys, and then we're going to jump into the live Q&A. If we have any questions, and then we're going to finish the stream. Thank you so much for joining, guys. So awesome. I can talk about this stuff for hours, and now it's an hour has passed. Man. So Jan says his form, my form, is so ugly when doing the swing. And he doesn't have a nice, lean, and jacked body. I look like an old man. Probably because of my gray hair. My gray, the color that I used. I really like this color now. Man, Angie brought me to this color. And my hairdresser, he said, man, you're going to look great. And then he says, thank God, Angie's good to look at. Jan, I'm going to look at you right in the face. And I'm going to tell you one thing. Listen close. This is very, very important. Zooming in. You're right. Because this woman is so awesome to look at. Check out this woman. Check out Angie. What a beautiful, wonderful woman. I'm so blessed to have her by my side. She cooks, she cleans, she's beautiful, she trains like a beast. This is such a beautiful woman. So Jan, I know you're probably jealous. So guys, let's jump into the Q&A. If we have some folks still watching, man, I've been doing it for so long now. So long. Let's check out if we have any. Seems the stream is still running, right? Yeah. And Angie, did you see this? Did you see this, baby? You know you're the best looking woman ever. Now, we got, man, I can't read Krylik. You got to help me, man. Sup, everyone. So awesome that you joined. Privet, Alexander. Privet yourself. Long toe. Man, that's awesome. Would you be kind enough to share some of those workouts Steve gave you to help you with the level 1 test? Oh, long toe. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do this. you probably have to go through the route of the IKFF. I don't want to share Steve's material without his approval. You probably may just contact the IKFF directly, contact Steve directly and ask him. And I have to admit, Longtoe, I didn't use these workouts as regularly. I just did the swings, the clean and press, and the snatch and the goblet squat. And I tried to get better at it. And what I did was, in the gym, traditional training, I started to pump up my shoulders a little more. Because I knew I don't have that awesome dip and bump and power from the legs yet. So that's the reason why I thought, well, I'll need some more upper body power to be able to stand through the test, which I finally managed. So my advice would be, I can tell you how I did it. Start small. Start, let's say like 50 swings. Have all the exercises. Start with 50 swings. Then you start with 8 clean and presses left, 8 clean and presses right. Then you start with 15 snatches left, 15 snatches right. And you start with 15 goblet squats. Do them all unbroken. And then see how you fare. And if you feel good, if you feel ready, do some additional stuff. Just try some the next day or the every other day. Do some additional stuff. Just work on your goblet squat. Do some stuff that you like. Because I don't think it's the best practice to just prepare yourself for a test, because that can probably burn you out a little bit, and you'll probably be scared if you don't advance as good as you might have hoped. So do some stuff that you like, and always do some stuff where you know, okay, this is where I'm probably lacking. So I'm lacking in the shoulder. So maybe because I don't have that good of a bump, maybe I need some shoulder power, do some presses and stuff like that. And then you advance. Then you jump up to 60 swings, 10 clean and presses per side, 20 snatches per side. This is how I did it. And then I started using the 4-time method, where I started incorporating time. I said, okay, I'm going to do 2 snatches. I'm going to do snatches for 2 minutes with the left side, 2 minutes with the right side. And I can guarantee you I was burning the hell out my arm, but I managed somehow to do it. And then I kept going. I kept going until I was up at 5 minutes. I think I was at 5 minutes at the end. So this is what I would advise you to do if you want to really up your game and prepare for the IKFF 1 level test. Do some work for time and do the workout itself. And yeah, that's what's up. So how you call it? 16 kilo in one hand going up, and you must touch the floor with other hand. One hand going up, and you must touch the floor with other hand. Well, what? Oh man, I don't understand your question, bro. Are you asking what the exercise is called? And can you clarify a little bit? Are you talking about the Turkish get up, or are you talking about a power clean or whatever? So DJ Vexy says, best way to practice Turkish get up for beginners. I've done some powerlifting off and on, so I'm not new to weightlifting, but I'm new to kettlebells. Now Angie says, try it at first with lightweight until your stability is good and you feel comfortable with it. Then you can build up the Turkish setup step by step with more weight. See, that's my woman right there, huh? You see her English? See, she's a beast. Wow. DJ Vex, Angie just really helped you along your way. Awesome. Haha, danke Ken, aber das ist genauso perfekt für mich. Baby, I love you. You know I love you. Is that the bench press? Julian, what exercise are you talking about? And Rolf, he's talking about the windmill. Are we talking about something? Or do you think what Angie's looks like when she's lifting the kettlebell? In that image, that's just one of her styles. That's just an image. So guys, I think we can wrap this up. We still have 10 people in the chat. Guys, thank you so much for joining. I really enjoy these kettlebell sessions. And you can really frequently tune in Tuesday, 7 p.m. Workouts is Thursday, 11 a.m. And Saturday is 12 p.m. So guys, if you don't have any more questions, thank you so much. Oh, Julian, here he comes. I wasn't sure if the other person was suggesting a bench press. His name in Russian that I can't pronounce. Alexander. Longtoe said his name is Alexander. Yeah, maybe he's a bench. Yeah, the bench press is tricky. The bench press is really, really tricky, especially with heavy weight. I saw a video of Pavel Tsatsouline demonstrating the bench press. Oof, I think this is a very, very, very tricky exercise that demands a lot of mobility, a lot of strength, a lot of power, and a lot of knowledge, and a lot of good control of the body in itself. Not an exercise suitable for beginners. And when we talk about the risk as well, this probably poses some risk to especially beginners. So yeah, I would do this exercise once you're advanced. So, do you do kettlebell juggling? Julian is asking. We got this question on our last live stream. I think kettlebell juggling is awesome to look at, and I do some basic stuff, some helicopters, some choppers, and some front flips and front flips only. But all this crazy stuff over the head, like I see the Russians do. I follow this one woman. She's doing some incredibly crazy stuff with the juggling, and she's been doing it for 20 years. So it's always the same thing. Once you've been doing something very good for many years, you build habits which help you perform the exercises even better. So I do some juggling, but I don't incorporate it in my weekly workout schedule. Sometimes I do juggling just for fun, but I don't actually use it as a routine. However, if my memory is not failing me, I think Steve Cotter once mentioned in an Instagram post where he was juggling the kettlebell with one of those guys at Six Blades from the Jiu-Jitsu. I think it's San Diego, these Jiu-Jitsu guys. And I think he captioned the video and said it's great for grip strength. So maybe if you're looking to build more grip strength, maybe it can help you. Maybe the juggling can help you. What I believe what can really help you is control of the kettlebell. This is something that you need with the ballistics, and you need some fine-tuned feeling for the kettlebell in fingers and wrist. So this is what can really, I think this is where kettlebell juggling really shines, is because you get the feeling for the kettlebell, how much torque you actually need, or how much power you actually have to, how you have to adjust it to make the kettlebell flip or turn. So this is something that's very useful when it comes to the hand insertion. And now I'm remembering, or it just went through my head, DJ Vex, I just want to add something to what Angie says. Angie's statement's totally complete in itself. And what I want to add additionally on top of it is try to do the Turkish get up, the exercise without any weights first. Try working your way up without weight. Just get a feeling for the movement, because first, when people do the Turkish get up for the first time, they get it confused a little bit, and then once you confuse the movement, you're not able to stabilize the kettlebell in the overhead top fixation, and your shoulder can be a little tricky. So try the Turkish get up step by step in the phases without any weight. This is what I would just add on top of it. So guys, I think we're done. We got it. Thomas. Oh, Julian. Hey, whoa, guys. Hey, you're fast. Alexander, I think it's called the windmill. Ah, yeah. Now we're getting there. Yeah, how you call it? 16 kilo in one hand going, and you must touch floor with other hand. Yeah, Rolf Trebel, thank you for helping out, man. Alexander, I think you're talking about the windmill. Rolf, you said it in the first time, but I didn't get it where you were aiming the comment at. So awesome. Thank you for helping out, Rolf. Yeah, Alexander, I think you're talking about the windmill, right? Where you got the kettlebell up here, and then you go down, right? And the other hand doesn't even have to touch the floor, but it follows your leg down. This is called the windmill. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, man. Julian, thank you. I will try to attend more of your Q&As. I recently learned of you through Reddit, and I'm glad to have tuned in. Excellent knowledge base and great personality. Keep it up. Thank you very much, Julian. We actually talked about the Reddit post in the beginning. Man, thanks so much for the love. So, we got Thomas saying, I love this channel. Even most is in German. Yeah, we started out in German, actually. And we still do some German stuff once per month. But I found out that the recent growth that we were getting is taking over the growth that we're getting from the German community. The English community is subscribing and viewing so much of our stuff now that we thought, okay, it's time to switch it up. And what is also very interesting, and it's not the only motivating factor, of course, but YouTube pays us more for English content. We get about, if I remember it correctly, we get $11 CPM, that's cost per mil. For every 1,000 views, we got $11. That's a lot of money. And for every CPM in the German-speaking realm, we only get $4. Not the only motivation, of course, but we see that the English stuff is expanding, and it helps us build the channel a little more. So yeah, that's what we do. Now, I check out your last question, Thomas. Can you say a simple 3-day split program? Well, simple, it depends on your goal, but if it would be very easy and simple, I wouldn't even recommend a split. Out of one simple reason. If you come from the traditional strength training background, we always believe, I was training splits for ages. I was training traditional strength training for 10 plus years. So I was splitting all day, every day, all right? I think it went that far where I had like 6 days split, which is crazy. And then I went down to 2 splits every other day. You upper body, lower body, then break, and then upper body, lower body. So if you're looking for an easy split that really maximizes hypertrophy, I would say you do upper body on Monday, lower body on Tuesday, Wednesday's a break, Thursday upper body, Friday lower body, and Saturday, Sunday break or cardio. This would be a split that I would apply when it comes to isolating your body parts, going into bodybuilding style of training, and maximizing hypertrophy. Because then you reach about 10 sets per muscle group, which is what Brad Schoenfeld advises to reach if you're looking for maximum hypertrophy. And since you're mentioning a 3-day split, I would do it easily. Full body, 3 days per week. That's actually what we do with our clients. So you do full body on Monday, full body on Wednesday, and full body on Friday, for example. Always give yourself a day of break for regeneration and recuperation. And the reason why we advise now full body splits or full body workouts is simple, because we believe that integrating your intra and intramuscular units is the best way to train. Integrating your whole body as a unit, because the body likes to be applied as or likes to be approached and worked out and used as a whole unit instead of splitting and isolating it. So we went from isolation, what I believed in for many years, and I think it's still true when it comes to maximizing hypertrophy and working bodybuilding type of style training, but I've switched from isolating to integrating, and that's what the kettlebell does. It integrates your body. Your whole body is working all day, every day. Of course, you can do swings only, which probably only works your midsection, but then it even works more than just than doing, for example, a leg extension at the machine. So I would advise, when it comes to full body integration, do 3 workouts per week, full body. If you want to go maximum hypertrophy, 2 splits at least, upper body, lower body, and you do these 2 times per week. So we got it, guys. I think it is done. So Jason, first time yesterday for some time, man. The kettlebell is legit. I love you. Oh man, Jason, I got you, man. Sorry, I didn't get it. I love your stuff. Thanks for all the info. I've been swinging and cleaning for a couple of weeks now. Awesome. First time yesterday for some time, man. The kettlebell is legit. 100% Jason. Thanks so much for the love. And Julian, and then we're going to finish this one off. I like doing 3 times full body double kettlebell training and then accessory work 2 or 3 days with cardio. I usually rest once per week. Julian, I'm actually doing almost the same thing. And now I'm working out almost every day. And I was talking to Angie recently, and we were talking about it. We said, hey, listen, it's the most awesome way to train with the kettlebell is now doing shorter workouts that last about 20 minutes max, and then do them almost every day. So I work out pretty much almost every day, and then like you said, I'm doing some cardio additional to some low impact stuff, and then I'm doing some additional black roll and mobility stuff to regenerate faster and better. And man, that's awesome. That's awesome what you do, Julian. And now, Thomas, great reply. But then what about if I want to train 6 days a week? Like I mentioned now, when it comes to kettlebell training, and if you're advanced, kettlebell training only, I would really condense the workouts to about 15, 20 minutes max. I can tell you, Thomas, our hardest workout is 12 to 13 minutes on Monday. It's the craziest workout, and it burns. It doesn't burn, but it's so hard to do. So we feel it even the following days. We feel it for ages. We really feel it for a very, very long time. And so condense the workouts, bring them down, and see how your body reacts to it. If you really dig it and love it, man, shoot for 3 at least, and 6 days. If you can keep it and hold it, always listen to your body. Listen to how your body responds, because even 6 days of training can be tough. If you're young, your body has I believe a grace period where it accepts and tolerates a lot of mistakes that we do. But once you get a little bit older, I believe you have to train a little smarter. Doesn't mean that 6 days per week is not training smart. I don't want to be rude or anything, but always listen to your body. This is probably the best advice that I can give. Now, this is it. Yeah, he says, thank you. You're welcome, Thomas. DJ Vex, I've been practicing both sides with a shoe on my first. Ha ha ha, that's awesome. That's a great way to do, DJ Vex. Keep going, and if you're safe, try using, and even if you think the kettlebell is probably you're a little bit too scared now, quote unquote, from the Turkish kettlebell with a kettlebell, try using a dumbbell first, because it's probably a little bit easier to control, because once you pick up the kettlebell and you don't have the right hand insertion, which is a very smart technique to keep the kettlebell in the rack rest position, or even use it in the Turkish kettlebell. If you're not familiar with that technique, it can be very tricky. So maybe you start with a dumbbell first and then advance to a kettlebell. So guys, this is it. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thursday, don't miss it. Don't miss it. Thursday, Angie's workout, 11 a.m. It's going to be a burner. And then Saturday, 12 p.m. And I'm already preparing a new video. It's called, what's the name? It's called 11 Things You Didn't Know About the Kettlebell. Awesome stuff. So catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for joining. Peace out. Guys. Talk about your subscription. We want to earn it with hard work. What we do on YouTube is, my goal is to serve you the best kettlebell content, the best kettlebell workouts there are, highest quality content on this platform. This is a huge goal, I know, but I'm driven. I'm so hungry, because somebody recently told me, Gregory, if you want people to subscribe to your stuff, then you gotta serve them the best content and the best quality there is, and that's my goal. So if we've earned your subscription, let me say thank you and welcome to the Lebe Kettlebell YouTube community. Now you see the schedule on my left. We have on Tuesdays, you can tune in and check out our live Q&A where you can ask questions about the kettlebell. On Thursday, we're starting a new format where you have a live kettlebell workout with Angie. You know she's a beast, right? And then on Saturday, we have 12 p.m. our standard workout where Angie and me are getting down with you guys to get the workout done. And you see these people on the left, these names, these are folks who donated to the stream. These are folks who joined the Kettlebell Club. You can join the Kettlebell Club right now, and you can financially support us if you want to take a step further. And that's what we do. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out. I'm so stoked to announce that we have our first English workout course, and it's called 30 Days of Kettlebells. I'm clicking on my 30 Days of Kettlebells course. On your left hand corner, you have all the chapters and the lessons. All these workouts are divided into chapters and into lessons. Right here it says, welcome to 30 Days of Kettlebells. We have some important information, blah, blah. So then when you're ready, you can click on continue, and boom, you're switching into your first workout, and it already starts. So here you got your first workout. As you can see, when we scroll down, you can see here is the description for the workout. No ads, no ad break. Okay, it's just the workout and you see the exercises, you see what you have to do. 30 Days of Kettlebells is an intense workout program that builds you up as a beginner without prior knowledge. That's what we specialize in. And this is very important. Even though we cover certain aspects of different exercises in small tutorials, this is not a specific technique class or course. We offer these types of courses as well, however, they're currently only in German. This is strictly a workout course. From now on, you will receive one of the following tasks each day for the next 30 days. You have a workout, so if a card pops up that says workout, here you will be tasked to work out. Simple. If a card pops up that says rest on your day 2 you saw previously, we believe that regeneration is also as important as working out. On these days, you can rest. Then we move on, you have cards that pop up that say rest and study. Here you can rest and you can study a specific topic that we'll cover in this lesson. And finally, you have some cards that pop up that say rest or workout. What that means is you can either work out if you feel like it, or you can take a break. It's only $49.99, so if you want to support us, if you want to support the channel, if you want to support our kettlebell courses, and if you want to enjoy something ad-free and learn something new and get a deeper understanding of the kettlebell and get a deep connection to us, then feel free to buy this course and have fun.